I finished a book this morning and it only took me like 2 days to read this book. As a slow reader, that is crazy. And I thought, am I on a roll? Am I slaying? So I had a look at my reading challenge, which is not really a challenge or a goal. I just put 52 because I'm like, I think I average a book a week. When I check in with it, it sort of helps me gauge how I'm going, you know? And I am 9 books ahead of schedule. I actually do. I mean, I feel like, yeah, maybe like reading on holiday for a while probably helped, but I also think that I kind of instilled the fear of God inside myself by setting like some weird new reading goals for myself at the start of the year, namely my 25 for 2025 TBR, also a goal to halve my physical TBR. And so I've been like moving through the year reading with these like goals looming over my head, and it's kind of been stressing me out. So there's an argument against goals. I don't think I will do it again purely because of how it's been making me feel. Like I'm not reading hard enough, I'm not reading enough, I'm not enough. What we're going to do today is I'm going to tell you about every single book that I have read so far this year. And that's 41 books. And so it's going to be a little rapid fire style. I may or may not give you my star rating. I've kind of been edging back into doing ratings out of 5 stars for a little bit of funsies. I'll give you like a little, this is what I thought, and we're going to move on and we're going to go through it fast. There are going to be some DNFs in here. Maybe we'll go through those first. And I actually just added another book to my DNF list this morning. It's one that I was reading on my Kobo. It was the last one from my travels, and I was liking it, but it was just taking me ages, and I was like never sort of picking it up. And then one day I put my Kobo down and picked up a different book, and the rest, as they say, was history. And that book was Butter Honey Pig Bread. I'm so sorry to say it. I also DNF'd The Persians, which was one of my like most anticipated. Also, speaking of my 2025 for 2025, Butter Honey Pig Bread and The Persians, both on my 25 for 2025. And even though I'm DNFing them, I'm ticking them off because I attempted them. Persians, yeah. Y'all know I was really excited for it because I really love the cover. Like the cover to me is a piece of art that I would frame. But the story just didn't work for me. I couldn't click with it. So, and 7 Days in June. Yeah, by Tia Williams. What the helly? What the heliante is everybody raving about? I'm so sorry, I could not. So actually I've only DNF'd 3 books this year, which is quite good because I'm not very bad at DNFing anymore. So clearly that just means that I've been reading really good books. By the way, hi, I'm Cameron. This is Psyche Book Club. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new, there's a little button down there that I suggest you click because it would mean a lot to me. But that's okay. If you don't want to, no pressure. Just hang around, watch this video. Let's talk about books. I talk about literary fiction mostly, a little bit of nonfiction, a little bit of whatever else I want. Thank you for joining me. Let's carry on. First book I read in 2025, I started so strong. It was The Wedding People by Alison S. Butch. S. Buck? I don't know. But I loved it. I would give it like a 4.5 stars. I thought it was fantastic. It balanced like the dark and the sad and the mundane with the optimism and almost frivolity of like a fun romance novel. Like I really thought that it had its feet in both ponds and it was nice. You know that old saying? I then read Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. I found this at an op shop and I purchased it straight away because I watched the series when it dropped. And it is one of the best TV series I have ever watched, and so I had to read the book. And the book was also very good. Women and Children First by Alina Grabowski. I can't believe I read this year. I feel like I read this 10 million years ago. I really liked it, but perhaps the feeling that I read it a long time ago is because it's less of it is sticking with me. I felt like I very much enjoyed the writing, but the story was not super strong. So it's sort of like a 2.75 maybe. Herland by Charlotte Perkins Gilliman. Obsessed with Miss Charlotte, Queen. I have this photo of her saved on the desktop of my laptop, ready to print out and frame one day and like have in a nice golden frame as part of like a picture wall or something because j'adore her. I want to read everything she's ever written. Did I really read these this year? This is this year. Down the Drain by Julia Fox. Actually slapped. Yeah, queen. Love her shit. Crazy. Like people said it's crazy, but I was like, oh. Bat Eater by Kylie Lee Baker. This would be on the DNF list if I was not enlisted to review it for money. So, unfortunately, that did not end up being a positive review. No and Other Love Stories, which is a short story collection, which if y'all know me, you'll know that I don't really fuck with those that much, but only because I always just want more. I'm always just left wanting more, you know? Like, I don't know, there's something that's just like a little bit unsatisfying about reading a short story collection. Not that I like never like the stories in them or whatever. Like I enjoy my time with them when I'm in them, but then like I am always left like I finish it and then I'm like, ugh, what was all that for? Like, ugh. I don't know. It feels like it's just less satisfying somehow when I read a short story collection. But anyway, I picked this one up out of interest. And I like the stories. Like they were good stories. So if like for somebody who does like short story collections, I would recommend it. Fun fact, actually recently this year, I was sent a book from a publisher and it was a short story collection. And when I got the book, I like saw the cover and thought, oh my God, this looks sick. Like really cool cover, posted on my Instagram. Flipped it over and saw that it was a short story collection. And so like the next Instagram story that I put up was like, oh no, with like the short story circled, like showing that it's a short story collection. Literally I captioned it, oh no, exclamation mark. Apparently that publisher was not happy with me for expressing my disappointment in it being a short story collection. Which fair enough, you know, fair enough. I am poo-pooing their product that they sent me for free. But am I not allowed to like not like short stories? Hungerstone by Kat Dunn. This book was a letdown, yeah. And I was like so hyped for it. I was excited because it was like lesbian vampires, which we love. I got a comment now I'm just like airing my dirty laundry. I did see a comment on one of my videos recently that was like, and I try to avoid them things because like they hurt my feelings. But this comment was like, she is like weirdly obsessed with sapphic books. Also, someone said that I'm obsessed with Australian literature. Anyways, Eat Your Heart Out by Victoria Brownlee. This was an Australian romance novel. One day I was just compelled and I was like, you know what I really want to read right now is a fucking romance book for some god reason. And it was really fun, actually. But I will say, what lent itself to being enjoyed by me was the fact that it does surround like food and chefs and food critics and like the hospitality restaurant world. So like that I love. Signs of Damage by Diana Reid. I love Diana Reid, another Australian author. Sorry for celebrating authors from my small little beautiful country. I'm kidding. Obviously. The internet, you guys, is just like such a crazy place because no matter what you do or say, like there will be at least one person who vocally disagrees or has a problem with it. And it's most of the time, 99% of the time, if I even see it, I'm like, and move on. For some reason right now I feel like whinging about it all. But it is just like a crazy thing to be like projecting yourself onto the internet and just like, I don't know, innocently expressing your thoughts and like just being a flawed human who posts shit on social media. The way people will come for you for anything, it's kind of hilarious and also terrifying. And I oftentimes don't think that I am strong enough to cope with it. Sometimes it really gets me down. All I'm talking about is books, you know? We're not solving the worst. Martyr by Kevin Ekpart was amazing. Like one of the best books that I've read this year by far, no doubt about it. 5 stars, incredible, loved it, go read it. Monstrilio was a crazy, freaky little work of fiction. I liked it. It hasn't stuck with me as a book that I want to keep recommending or talking about though. So it's maybe like around a 2.5 to be completely honest. And that's like keeping in mind that 3 stars is a book I really like. So 2.5 is not terrible. I do think there is this epidemic of any star rating below 3 seeming savage. And I really want to like dismantle that single-handedly. Perfection by Vincenzo Latronico. Straight over my head. But I do still appreciate how well done it is. And I recommend it all the time. And so I'd say it's like a 4-star because it's like objectively fab book and I really liked it and it really made me think and it really made me go, damn, I am not smart enough to clock a lot of what we're talking about here. And as much as I'm like a person who reads a lot, maybe I should read a lot more educational stuff so that I can grow my brain a little. But that's okay because it was still good and I still enjoyed my time with it. The Unworthy by Agostina Basterica. I love Agostina. She's a crazy freak and a fantastic writer, and I adored this book and it set me on an emotional roller coaster. The Colony by Annika Norlin was also a very, very interesting character study, though not a super interesting story. There is a lot to critique, but a lot that I liked. It was good and I recommend it. The Opposite of Lonely was the new book by Hilda Hinton that I was really excited for. Hilda Hinton is like my all-time underrated author, and I almost feel like weird when I talk about her books because they're so like they're very mumsy books. Like it's not what you would expect from me. But her first 2 books I adore, and so I was like so excited for her 3rd book, but it missed the mark for me. It was no what? Wall by Marlon Haushofer was claustrophobia in a book. Orlando by Jacqueline Hartman, which is the only other piece of writing by Jacqueline Hartman that has been translated to English, and it was so fun and cool, and I wish that more people spoke about it, although it is out of print. Won't be for long. I think next month. So everyone will be talking about it. Watch this space. Don't watch this particular space because I'm already talking about it, but like watch Book Talk. Go crazy because obviously I Who Have Never Known Men is huge, big deal. Once Orlando gets its repub, and deserved, and you all should read it. You absolutely should. The Rest of You by Marmy Blue. I remember liking this as I was reading it, but then that declining. And now I can't really remember what the story was. Page Boy by Elliot Page. I listened to this. This might have been my first audiobook. Loved it. Like just loved, people say this all the time, but it was my first audiobook, so it's a new experience for me. But like hearing somebody tell their own story, like hearing Elliot dictate his own memoir, like he's just telling me his story of his life. Like it was so beautiful, fascinating and heartbreaking and like such an important read. Slags by Emma Jane Unsworth was a fun time. It's probably like a 3-star. Like it's just kind of like, yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a good book. I liked it. Yeah. Mother Tongue by Naima Brown. Now we're getting into like slightly recent territory, but I feel like Mother Tongue has been like so just like sort of shot to the forefront of my mind and stayed there since I read it because it was so good and I've been raving. I don't know if it's quite a 5-star though. I will be completely honest with you. No, I think it's probably a 5-star. If it's not a 5-star, it's like a 4.75. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's still that good. The New Age of Sex. Oh my God. So I listened to this on audio. Laura Bates, who is the author of Men Who Hate Women, how that woman sleeps at night, given the research that she spends her life, like that she dedicates her life to. Oh my God, she must have an amazing therapist or something. The New Age of Sexism is her exploring how AI and emerging technologies are reinventing misogyny. It was so fun. It was such a joyful, fun, really good time. But really important. And like infuriating, but really important. And thank you, Laura, for all you do. You're an incredible person. And I just got I have been in the queue for the audiobook of Men Who Hate Women for months. And I just got it. I secured it. And so I will be listening to that now. That's my next audiobook and I'm so excited. The Emperor of Gladness, the new one from Ocean Vuong. Incredible, beautiful, loved it. J'adore, 5 stars. We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson was not what I was expecting, but I did go into it sort of a little bit clueless. You know, I just had my Netflix preconceptions. Skip Shock by Caroline O'Donoghue. So fun, so cute. I don't know how to rate it because it's like a YA sci-fi fantasy romance novel. It doesn't really like but if you're into that, highly recommend. Caroline's a clever lady and it really shines through her writing. Doppelganger. Oh yeah, I audiobooked it. I'm like, why is this here? Because I DNF'd the physical book. I think I got halfway through the physical book of Doppelganger last year and just like couldn't hack it. I was like, wow, it's too much for my brain. But then I copped the audiobook this year and finished it that way. And oh my God, so much easier to digest. Fascinating stuff. Sunstruck by William Rayford Hunter. I want to see more people talking about this book. What the hell? I will say though that I read it, raved about it, and then dipped. That was when like I read it right before I went away, and I had literally deleted TikTok and tried to stay off social media for the month that I was away. So maybe the people were raving about it. I just wasn't there to see it, but I kind of don't think that they were. I don't know. Have you seen people raving about Sunstruck by William Rayford Hunter? If not, can you all go read it and start, because it deserves. The Dream Hotel by Leila Leilami, which, first of all, incredible name. I love the way that it rolls off the tongue. Just dark, just like quite dark, but really good, like loved it, really enjoyed. Just like, yeah, a bit too close to reality, like a dystopian that's just like a little bit too like this shit could happen. Oh, it was really unsettling. Self-Portrait with Boy by Rachel Leon, really liked it. The Bombshell by Darrow Farr. I had to figure out how I felt about this book and the characters in it and the story, and it was intriguing. It was very different. And the more I thought about it after the fact, and the more I researched it after the fact, the more I appreciated it. The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Beckins Gilman. Great, cool, love her. Obviously, people still talk about The Yellow Wallpaper, this 80-page short story that is over 100 years old all these years later, because it is an incredible and important and powerful work. So yeah, of course. Throne of Glass. Moving on. Real Life by Brandon Taylor. J'adore. Beautiful. So beautiful, gorgeous. This just reminded me that I was also going to go through my 25 for 25. Real Life by Brandon Taylor was on my 25 for 25. So was The Unworthy. So was a Shirley Jackson, Mother Tongue, Perfection, Orlando, Slags. The Opposite of Lonely, The Wall. You know what? I have made great progress on my 25 for 25 as well. So thank you. Pat on the slaggy merch. Pat on the slaggy. Did you cop that? Did you happen to notice? Anyways, on the calculation of volume 1. I have to read the second one to make my thoughts. Thoughts pending. Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huan. Also one of the best books I've read this year. Oh my God, insane. So good. So good. Read it. A nonfiction. I feel like there's not a lot of nonfiction going on here. There is not a lot of, I have not been reading nonfiction. And you know what? That's okay and that's allowed. I have been feeling lately that my brain is not working so well. And I was wondering if just because I've had a lot going on in my life and so I'm just like exhaustion kind of thing or like a burnout type thing, but maybe it's because I'm not reading nonfiction. And so I'm not like staying alert and educated, and all of my reading is pleasure reading, which has its merits and is very important as well, and is not completely like devoid of meaning or impact, but maybe I need to be reading a little bit more nonfiction just to like keep the cogs turning. I don't know. I've just had a thought. Anyway, I read Torn, which is a brand new book by Nicole Madigan, and loved it. It was great. It was so interesting and juicy for a nosy girl like me. Bury our bones in the midnight soil. I like literally can't tell you what my thoughts are because I wrote a review for the Shameless Book Club podcast, the Shameless Podcast Book Club, and it's not live yet. So my thoughts on this book are sealed away in the Shameless office. I'm sorry, you'll just have to go knocking there. Piss Ants. I listened to the audiobook of this and the voice actor was doing the absolute most, and I actually liked it. It was actually very funny and entertaining. And I hesitate to recommend the book because I'm like, but the audiobook was really entertaining, because I'm like, I don't know how this would read on the page. I fear people might pick up the book and like read it on the page and be like, what the hell is it? But then maybe it's just as funny on the page as well. I'm looking at the book. I have it, the like physical book. And so maybe I should just sit down, like read a passage and see how it reads. But then how would I not be, like, I wouldn't be able to erase the voice actor's voice from my brain. I would just read it that way. So I'm interested to hear, I've got a few friends who are reading it at the moment, I'm interested to hear their thoughts, how they find it. I do genuinely think it's very funny and very like does not hold back. Like he really is just exposing footy culture, toxic male culture. Like he just does not hold back. And I love that. Well done, Brandon. Love that. And then the book that I finished this morning, loved one, by Aisha Muhara. And I loved it. I really loved it. It was really good. It was so good. I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised at all because Aisha has written for Hacks and The Good Place and Parks and Rec. And so, like, what else would you expect but a very good book from somebody who has written for those shows? I mean, just like, it's like a given. It's like, well, duh. Yeah, it was really good. So that's everything that I read in 2025. Was that interesting for you? Guys, thank you for watching. I am going to go deeper into some of the books that I've read recently that I've really loved and tell you more about them, more about what I loved about them, and really sell you on them. If you're interested, stay tuned. That video will be coming, I promise. In the meantime, there will, of course, be wrap-ups and new release bulletins and all of the rest. But if there's anything that you really want to see from me, please let me know in the comments. I'm in a little bit of like a content ideas slump. I don't know if you see this cookbook right here. I have got my cookbooks out because I'm having some ideas around those. I don't know. And then also there's some merch happening. Here it is. I will be dropping it at some point. Keep an eye on my Instagram at Slaggy Book Club and you will see all the updates. I appreciate you and I love you. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.